Yo, what's going on, great people? Nick Shine here. Hope you guys are all having an amazing, phenomenal day. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a business model that I would take on and I would start applying it immediately if I were looking to make $10,000 right now per month, okay? And this business model, no one is talking about, okay? No one is talking about this business model. There's so many people online that are talking about real estate. There's so many people online that are talking about, Airbnb arbitrage, short-term rental arbitrage, things like this, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, right? These are great businesses. These are great areas to generate income, to, scale your business. But there's a business model that no one is talking about that you don't need any capital whatsoever to get involved in, okay? And I want to share that with you. So, if you're watching this video, feel free to take notes, get you a nice notepad, get you a pen, because I'm going to drop some golden nuggets on you right here, right now today, and you should definitely be taking notes. So the business model that I'm going to be explaining to you here is called co-hosting, okay? Now, some of you may know what co-hosting is. Some of you may not know what co-hosting is. Well, I'll explain exactly what co-hosting is and how you can simply start and get involved in co-hosting literally today and in the next couple of days, okay? If you just take action on everything that I'm going to share with you and show you in this video, all right? So you have a property owner, okay? Now, said property owner has a property, okay? Now, this property owner is used to having tenants in his property, okay? Now, typically in a property agreement between a tenant and the owner, it's a 12-month agreement, okay? 12-month agreement, 2-month agreement, 3-month agreement, okay? Depending on the agreement, depending on the tenant, and depending on the property owner, okay? Now, however, okay, in 2024, a lot of things have changed, okay? You've got the short-term rental market that has taken off, that has pretty much changed the entire market of how people travel, how people stay, and, the length of stay and things like this, okay? Not only has the short-term rental market changed things, but you've also have, remote work that has also changed things, right? So that tenant, let's say that would typically go to a 9 to 5 and drive to work every single day, they are now working remotely, right? They now have remote work where they can pretty much all they need is their laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and a phone, okay? So that said tenant that would typically drive to work every single day no longer needs to drive to work every single day. They can be on a beach in Thailand working because all they need is their laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and a smartphone, okay? So what that then there leaves the owner in a bad situation, okay? That leaves the owner in a bad situation because, said owner is typically used to a tenant, working a 9 to 5 job in the area, driving every day back to work and having to stay in a property, right, nearby. But with the times and things like that that have changed, said owner is losing money, okay? Now, the typical owner loses anywhere from, let's say, $200 to $600 per day. Let me say that again. Some owners, most of them, okay, are losing anywhere from $200 to $600 per day, depending on the property, depending on the location, so on and so forth, right? But the point here is that they're losing money every single day that the property is vacant, okay? And this is where you come in, all right? This is where you come in to be the solutionist to solve the owner's problem, all right? Then you have the co-host, which is you, okay? Now, let me just say this, all right? Excuse me, let me get some water here. Let me just say this. You don't need to purchase the property, okay? You don't need to put any deposits down. You don't need to fill out any type of agreements, or, well, let's just say the agreement that you have, based on percentage base, but you don't need a rental agreement. You don't need any kind of, credit checks or anything like this, right? You don't need to purchase any furniture, okay? And you are simply just a co-host, pretty much the property manager of said property, okay? So you find an owner, okay? You find an owner who's had a vacant property, let's say anywhere between 45 to 60 days, okay? 45 to 60 days, you've come across an owner who's had a vacant property. Keep in mind, this owner has been losing $200 to $600 per day that this property's been vacant. So if you go to places, let's say like Zillow, okay, and you see a property that's been vacant for 30, 45, 50, 60 days, okay, you know that this owner is losing money. You know this, okay? Then what you would do, okay, you would simply reach out to said owner, send a nice little script. Hey, owner, blah, blah, blah. The owner's going to respond back to you, okay? But the key here is that we want to get the owner, right? Because most owners have the idea of long-term renters, right? Long-term tenants, okay? We want to give the owner the idea and the solution of thinking from long-term to short-term, okay? And when I say not long-term to short-term, I mean short-term rentals, okay? So the owner's not able to get a long-term rental, okay? Their place has been vacant for 30 to 60, however many days, okay? They're not able to get a long-term rental. We come in to solve that problem for them, to share the idea of possibly turning that long-term rental into a short-term rental. Because not only is it going to increase the income that they would make, right, on a monthly basis, but it's also going to keep their place booked and busy, okay? You're going to have cleaners that are going to be cleaning the property, right? It's going to be cleaned maybe like 6 to 10 times a month, okay? You've got a handy person that's going to take care of, any damages or whatnot. On top of that, because the property is going to be listed on platforms like Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, their property is going to be covered over $3 million, okay? So when you present it to the owner, right, in such way, okay, they kind of get to see the idea and have the picture of, what, short-term rental may be the best option for this property because I can't get a long-term tenant in here, okay? You get what I'm saying? And again, where we're going to find these owners, okay, we're going to find owners on places, let's say like Facebook Marketplace, okay, that's a great place. We're going to find these owners on Zillow. We're going to find these owners on Trulia. We're going to find these owners on Craigslist, okay? All of these platforms are where owners hang out, where they're looking for tenants, where they're looking for, people to come in to rent their properties, okay? Now, again, we only want to reach out to owners who have had their listings on these platforms for more than, let's just say, 45 days, okay? If you come across a listing that's been there for more than 45 days, you want to reach out to that owner. Another tip I want to give you here is that you want to reach out to owners who already have furnished properties, okay? Reason being, if you come across a listing and an owner who already has a furnished property or he has furniture and it's just not in there, it's easier to set this place up, okay? It's easier to set the place up, and all you got to do is just, schedule, with the cleaners. There's nothing really, much to do, right? Because the property is already furnished, okay? So once you get the agreement, once you explain to the owner exactly, from going from a long-term, looking for long-term tenants to operating his property as a short-term rental, once you have the agreement and the understanding and agreement with him, then where your task comes in is your day-to-day pretty much is going to be messaging the guest, okay? Messaging the guest, making sure the guest knows where the location is, okay? Any questions they may have regarding their stay, any questions they may have regarding the city, the surrounding areas, whatever it may be, okay? On top of being in communication with the cleaning team, okay? Scheduling the cleanings, making sure, everything is replenished, making sure you got towels, soaps, shampoos, conditioners, coffee, so on and so forth, right? And making sure that the cleaners are actually staging your listing accordingly, okay? Making sure it's nicely staged, okay? Because when the guests come in, when they want to experience a stay, depending on where it is, no matter where it is really, they want it to be, vacation-like, right? They want to feel as though, it's a home away from home, okay? So you want to make sure your cleaners are professional, okay, and that they're setting up your property in such a way that, you know, gives a great experience to every guest, okay? Then you have your communication with the maintenance department, okay? So you have a maintenance team, okay? And your maintenance team pretty much, you know, comes in. If there's any damages that need to be taken care of, the maintenance team, they take care of that. If there's any walls that need to be painted, the maintenance team, they take care of that. If there's any pictures or TVs, whatever it may be, right, that need to be hung up, the maintenance team, they handle that, okay? Now, the agreement that you have with the owner, okay? Again, the percentage base that you want to receive per booking, okay, is anywhere from 15 to 25% per booking, okay? And again, if you want my scripts, if you want, you know, the letters that I use, just send me, just comment below, script, letters, and I'll send you everything, all right? Just comment below. But the percentage base you want to go with is between anywhere from 15% to 25%, okay? Now, for example purposes, let's just say, you know, there's a guest that comes in, right? And let's say they book for, let's say, a week, okay? It's a family, they book for a week, and that booking was like, let's say, $2,000, okay? And let's say your agreement that you have with the owner is 20%, okay? So 20% of that $2,000 is $400. That's $400 for you, okay? You didn't purchase the property. You didn't purchase the furniture. You didn't, you know, put any deposit down. You didn't sign any type of, you know, rental agreements. You didn't run any credit, okay? The only thing that you did was send a few messages, found the owner, signed the agreement. You were in communication with the cleaning team. You were in communication with the guest, and you were in communication with the handy person. And you received $400, okay? Now, that is only 1 week, okay? That is only one listing, okay? This can go on, and you can have as many listings, you can have as many bookings, okay? Now, again, there's 30 days in a month, all right? You can have multiple bookings in a month, okay? You can have multiple listings, and you can deal with multiple property owners. Listen, young people, older people, okay? You can, there's no cap to this, okay? There's no ceiling to this business here, okay? And again, the only tools that you need to operate this business smoothly, okay, and run this business from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have a laptop, okay, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, and as long as you have a smartphone, those are literally all the tools that you need to run and operate this business, all right? So if you got any value from this video here, feel free to like this video, feel free to comment below, okay? And I'll send you all the scripts, I'll send you all the letters. And yeah, this is truly a business that I highly recommend that any of you watching this video right here, right now, today, to get started with, because it'll truly take you beyond $10,000 to $20,000 per month, whatever it is that you want to make, okay? It's totally up to you. Then you can start building a team around that, okay? A team of people where it's like, okay, now you've taught this person, you've taught that person, and now you have a team of people doing all of this and running this for you. But that's later on, okay? You can literally operate a good 10 to 15 properties, or, you know, deal with 10 to 15 owners solely on your own to generate you an easy 10,000 plus per month. All right, so with that being said, great people, I love you, I appreciate you. Let's get to work, let's go. Have a good one.